and anything that goes with that.
Okay. Thank you. Real quick, since I gave you additional time, I'd like to pick your brain on
Yes,
a few
sir.
things. As you know, you and I both worked in law enforcement.
Yes.
I'd like to correct a couple things that you said that was not accurate. Number one, when you mentioned the incident that happened in 2019, that was with the sexual toy. That was a violation of our adult ordinance, and our police department shut that down. Matter of fact, they were removed from that location, and they weren't there in 2020. I acknowledge that even prior to me even being mayor, that occurred, and that was corrected by our police department immediately. So we would agree on that, correct?
Absolutely. It does not need to be around sexual in nature.
Okay, so I'm just correcting the record because I want to go on, because what I like to do is I don't like to make a decision on emotions. I don't think you ever make a decision, when you make a decision on emotions, that happens. So I always say, how did we get here? How did we get here? So the way we got here, and actually let me back up for that. Actually, no, I'm going to keep moving. Would you put up the two pictures that I've been saving for a while? And you as a police officer, I need your opinion on something. Now, initially, our state representative said, and he had told me, shut this down right here. Shut down drag queen story time. Not the parade, nothing like that. Matter of fact, it's in all the memos and everything right here. Shut this down. So if you were to look at 2019 to 2020 and 2022, as much as you and I may look at that and go, what the hell are they doing? If we shut that down, do you believe, as a former police officer like me, that'd be a violation of the First Amendment?
I believe, and
Not right, no, right there.
that's an event inside of an event, and the event as a whole needs to be judged.
Okay, so
That's
you're
what I
saying,
believe.
okay, so actually you're incorrect. So I will tell you now, and our city attorney, I will refer to our city attorney, the situation here, if we were to say, you can't do this act right here, sir, I know that, matter of fact, our former city attorney said it would be a violation, our other city attorney, even the state, and some of the judicial information said it would be a violation of the First Amendment rights. Would you agree with that, Mr. Attorney?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I actually reviewed both of the reports that you're referring to, and I concur with both Adam and as well as Ms. Allison.
Okay, so
Those weren't any of my pictures, though.
okay,
My pictures were to the cum
no,
rags.
listen, no, we're backing up. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm talking about how did we get here, okay? Because our job in government is to identify a problem and fix the problem, okay? So these are the two incidents that happened. This is the one, this is something else. This all spurred from the representative saying, shut this down, okay? When I tried to educate him and say, look, this right here, not the parade, remember there's two permitted things. This right here, remember, drag queen story time, shut it down. And I tried to explain, we can't, because that is actually, that's free speech. I may not like the hemp fest, but they have a right to, they have a right to assemble, okay? So that's where we initially started. Well, when I said no, and I didn't go along with shutting something down, the next thing was thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of text messages out by our state representative from his political account stating that I'm a groomer. Me, my council members, our staff, our police department, we're groomers. Mm-hmm. We're sexualizing children over that right there. As much as I may look at that and go, that is just, why would a parent bring their children to that? I can't answer that. I'm not their parent. I look at people and I say, a mother and a father should have a right to say what their kids go to, what they see, and what they are exposed to. I may not agree with it. People may not like the fact that I'll take my kids to a gun range, but I have that right. So this is going back to where we got here. So after the tens of thousands of text messages that you could get this state representative political sign right here, multiple. And understand, Channel 13 even reviewed what he said in Tallahassee and what he put on social media, two different things. Totally, what he's telling the state's one thing compared to that. Now, what I will tell you, I did write a letter to Speaker Paul Renner as the mayor of the city of Melbourne, where I support this bill. Absolutely. And I'll read it right here. Before I begin, I want to be clear that I personally support the underlying intention of this bill. This is not a partisan issue for me, as I support our governor and his Free Florida agenda. Even during this time, I wasn't asked. I was being blown up, and my staff, and our former city manager, that we are groomers. Now, I know your spouse wasn't on here at the time, but she would have been called a groomer as well, and it would not have sent with you. Because no man's going to call me that and meet me out in the parking lot. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, that's unacceptable. Our staff are not groomers. We don't sit with the sexualization of children. Our police chief, our police department would never allow that. Now, I will agree with you. There's good things that come out of this bill. Because the city of Melbourne we're just a municipality. There's what goes on in Melbourne is different than Boca Raton or Jacksonville or Miami Beach. We all, we all try to live in a community. So my job is, if I'm going to err, it's going to be on the side of the Constitution and giving people their freedom of right and freedom of speech. I will tell you, Nick, and I call you Nick because you're a friend. Matter of fact, it was Miss Sanders said 7 or 8 months ago, if you got pictures, you got video, send them to the council.
No, nobody come forward and did that.
Hold on. I'm not done talking it. So I'm thanking you, because with all this noise, all this campaign noise, nothing was sent to me until you. So I thank you for that. Because Mr. Thomas has even said, and I agree with him, we'll tighten up and do what we got to do to ensure that the public not only is safe, but we protect the First Amendment rights of others. So that's where I stand with that.
And the children.
And absolutely, and the children. And if anybody's going to say that we're not doing that, they're a coward. But if they're going to do it from their Mr. Thomas, please, you have something?
Yeah, I'll just say, Mayor, I think it's very important that whatever the motives you think Representative Fine had to do this, right? I think that's something that needs to be handled separately with you and him, i.e., if you think it's something that was just politically motivated to sell campaign signs, whatever, file an ethics complaint and work that's separate from what takes place up here on the dais. If you haven't seen enough of these pictures tonight to know that that's grooming, then you're not seeing it, and you'll never see it. Okay, that is grooming. It doesn't matter the fact that she's dressed modestly or it's dressed modestly. Okay, it's the interaction, it's the visual realization that the youngster sees, and they're too young to comprehend. They're too young to understand what gender is, or what was the other terms that they use? Gender fluidity, and then understanding what positive queer role models are. Again, these are kids. They don't understand that. They see that, and it confuses them. Because they see this, it looks like a woman, but then it's got a guy's face or a beard line, and it just confuses them. That doesn't belong in the public setting. That belongs in private. So if somebody wants to have an event like this, hey, you still have your First Amendment rights. Do it in private. All these businesses that signed up to give money to this event, let them host the event. And if people want to have drag queens at that event, fine, then do so. But really, the conversation that we need to be having right now, the bill is passed, the governor's going to sign it, is how are we going to implement the bill? That's what we need to be talking about right now. And so, in the way we do that, we need to be talking, what's our public information plan to get it out through the public affairs person.
Can I answer? Okay, well, I'm going to answer your question.
Let me talk. Hang on. Let me get through my points.
I'll give you, go ahead.
And then the other thing is, what about the application process? How does this change the application process? Okay? And then the other thing is, what does it do as far as our security requirements for more security guys as well as police officer? How does that change? We need to start working on that right now and not quit trying to do cheetah flips to protect somebody's First Amendment right because they want to be a cross-dresser and read books to underage children.
Okay.
That's wrong. That's where we need to be going. We need to stop all this nonsense. The bill's been passed. Let's get ready to implement it. And you know what? If the staff has a problem with implementing the bill, resign. Because if you don't implement it, you know what? I'm going to request that you make the motion to fire you. I'm telling you, that's the way it's going to be.
Okay. Okay, well, hold on, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas, I will say this, and this is from Channel 9 News. Okay? You're saying right there that's grooming. Okay,
That's grooming.
Okay. Okay, during the interview, Representative Fine, it's from Channel 9 News. During the interview, Representative Biden conceded some drag performance, including drag queen story hours, would be appropriate for children depending on the content of the story and the outfit of the reader, which is why his bill didn't institute a blanket ban on the event. So I would say, before you even threaten that you want to fire staff for protection of constitutional rights, I think it's the actions of someone, not what they're wearing. I would go, that's a very slippery slope, and I would be very careful to go down that. As a matter of fact, I give a lot of latitude to my fellow council members. Anything I send out, I make sure every one of you have a copy. You have, like, near the same power I have, Mr. Thomas. Why don't you work with our city attorney, and we've had a conversation about what this bill would do. Again, I wrote a letter as mayor, and I support the bill. I think it will probably help us curb some of that. And I'll tell you from a law enforcement standpoint that you may not know, we would rather enforce the state bill as opposed to as a municipal ordinance, because the state picks up they pick up the prosecution as opposed to of our city attorney's office. So the bill almost mirrors our adult entertainment ordinance, but it gets more teeth. So that's where I stand with that. So again, that's where I stand. If any other council members has any comment, again, Mr. Sandberg, thank you for bringing that, because I've been hearing through the rumors that there's pictures out there. No one sent anything to me. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this was coming in front of me. You didn't send this to me, did you not? Which I'm okay with that, and I gave you more time because I appreciate you doing that. Because we need to make decisions, informed decisions on this council. And again, what we feel and what we think about something has to be taken out of the equation, because we set policies and laws for people that are not like us. So we have to remember that, and that's all I got to say.
And Mayor-
Anybody, go ahead.
Yeah, I get it.
Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah,
Jones.
so just real fast. So the House voted on this 82 yeas, 32 nays, 5 no votes. The Senate, 28-12. Okay, this overwhelmingly was approved. So our legislative delegation sees that it's a problem. Matter of fact, our Brevard County legislative delegation, they all unanimously voted in favor of this. So it's time for us to get behind this, figure out a way to implement it, and go forward.
Well-
And all this other sidebar stuff that's going on with Representative Fine and yourself.
Whoa, whoa,
then
whoa,
file-
whoa,
you know what?
whoa, whoa,
File
whoa,
file
stop.
an ethics complaint.
No, there's not. Well, no. Okay. Now you poke the bear, because I will tell you right now, this is the same state representative that said you were Traitor Tim and that you tried to cancel 4th of July to fund a Black Lives Matter event. Is it not? It was in Florida today in 2020. No, hold on. I've got the floor and I'm the mayor. Hold on, sir. I've got the floor right now. This is the same state representative it's in the police report that called one of our planning and zoning members, a black gentleman, a thug. So I will tell you right now, that is unacceptable in this city of Melbourne. I'm from here. If you just got here in 2013, that doesn't go here. So there is no issues of filing an ethics complaint. I've already told you what I feel about the bill, but I'm not gonna put up with a bully, and neither should you, Mr. Thomas. You're an honorable man. Don't put up with that garbage. That's all I gotta say.
And let me say something about that. So he has made those remarks. I've said stuff about him, about some of his policies that he's got.
Absolutely.
That was critical of. You know what? I've got big boy skin on. It doesn't bother me because of what he never served, and I take it as a grain of salt.
You and I both served in the military.
That's right. It doesn't
We
bother me.
served, exactly.
But we've got to figure out a way to implement this.
Well, hold on, and yeah, thank you, because I've already talked to the city attorney. We talked about that, about implementing, get with the council, and how we can utilize this bill. We've already had that discussion. Matter of fact, I'm bringing that forward, because I agree with this bill. I have no problem with the bill. I have a problem with the rhetoric and the claim, because I'll tell you right now, you want to call me a groomer, we can meet outside. And that's how I feel about it, because I'm not one and neither are you, and you know that.
Well, obviously, we need to cool down and let's keep.
That's why I don't make decisions unless I have a straight head.
Mayor,
And I'm good. Yes, sir.
can we move on to the next item, please?
Well, okay. Anything else? Ms. Minus.
Mayor, I just want to say, this is very lively and very important and necessary dialogue that we need to have. Also, it helps us to move forward with the many changes may be necessary. There are some things we have to also remember that whether we like it or not, that our First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third, Fourth, Fifth, 50, whatever amendment has to be adhered to. So whether we like it or not, then we do have, we have to adhere to everyone's right, whether we like it or not, black, white, blue, or green. Everyone has to be heard, and there and they have to have the same right per our Constitution and what we've agreed to. I was trying to go through, and it's definitely, you're not supposed to use your phone when you're on the dais. That's part of our ethics violation. But I am trying to find some information that is on social media about someone's wife in prior years with the Space Coast Pride. And I will find that information. We're speaking with a forked tongue, if you will, or what's good for you is not good for me. So I will find that information and give it to the city clerk, so that if we are talking about one side, we need to be talking about both sides, talk about everything. So my point is to make sure that we are balanced in what we're doing. And I'm just at a loss for words right now.
Mayor,
So
if I may.
if
Hold on. No, not yet. Hold on, Ms. White.
I'm trying to finish.
Go ahead, ma'am. No, you have the floor.
Okay, all right, but definitely, and I'm wrapping up. So let's we table this. The attacks on staff. Please, let's think about that.
Okay.
What we do, because we do know we have the best staff, bar none, county. So whether we like what they do or not, I'm sure, and we know that they tell us and give us the correct information. So
Okay.
please, let's adhere to that.
May I-
Thank you, sir.
Vice Mayor, go
I'm
ahead.
going to try and finish this up. The bill has been passed on both the Senate and the House. 1423, I believe, is the number of the bill.
Yeah.
Governor has not signed it as of yet.
He will.
He will.
He could veto it, he could sign it. So after the bill is put into law, can we come back and have this conversation to see how this
Well,
bill
we're gonna have to, Vice Mayor.
falls into our city,
Um,
rather than to be yelling at each other
Vice-
across
no,
the
we're
board
not. We're
right now?
fine. No, we're fine.
Very emotional. No,
Fine. I'm fine. My
everybody's
protein
fine,
cookie.
Mayor. Everybody's fine.
I'm gonna enjoy my
Everybody's
pro-
fine. All I'm asking is that we bring this back, you know.
I'm gonna enjoy my
in-
protein cookie.
I
cooler
second the
heads.
motion.
And please, I don't want to walk outside with you.
No, I'm telling you right. Don't.
Security.
No, look, the name calling is unnecessary. Look, we all have to live together. We have an amazing community. I grew up here. This is my home, and I love, I'm old school, and I can't ask for a better community. I am blessed to be the mayor of the most amazing city in the United States, and Melbourne is my home. We got the Jarnes' family here, and we got great people, and at the end of the day, it's my job to ensure that we all live together and work together. And anyway, I'm just going to finish.
Glad you came here
The
today.
manager, the attorney will speak.
Yes, sir.
So the other thing is, Mayor, you and I have agreed on 99.9% of all the issues that have come here before this
Yes,
council.
yes, sir. Yeah, we
There's
have.
only maybe one, this issue, and maybe one other one. And so, and again, this is not personal with me towards you. This is because, and I know it's the same with you towards me. We just believe in our sides that we're presenting, and we're passionate about it. And so, but I think as the mayor, you have done a great job as the mayor, and we've seen unbelievable growth the last 5 years as a result of your leadership. So there's no issue between you and I. There's people
absolutely
that would
not.
love for us to have an issue, but we don't.
Absolutely.
And I just want that, I want that on the record, that we're good.
Tim, you and I are both military veterans. Matter of fact, you are a very good friend. And I'll tell you right
are,
now,
too.
again, I will fight when someone disrespects you, I'll fight them all day long. And I'll tell you right now, and I'll continue to do that. And I don't want to agree with everybody. I want people with different opinions, so at least maybe we can come to a mutual agreement with everybody. So no, absolutely not. And again,
I
it's.
just want to make sure you and I,
Oh, you're
we're
fine.
good, man.
All right,
You're
y'all
fine.
kiss and make
Okay,
up.
the
Let's
last
go.
person, Ken Sales, and that is it. Ken Sales, come on up, Ken. Spin the wheel. How you doing, Ken? Hey, did I wake you up?
I got to help bail the
For the firefighter issue, I did receive calls as well. That is something that we're working on. You would like to say something?
About that, if I can, Mr. Mayor, really quick?
Yes, please.
I forward an email to all council about 5, could have been 4:30, about that issue, so just that you'll know, Councilmember Minus, is that it's being handled administratively by the chief at this point, as far as the personnel issue, as well as I appointed a special counsel to conduct that investigation, and that was in your email about 4:30 today.
Mayor, as long as we're disclosing, I've known Aaron Starkey for 20 years plus, and he came to me first on this issue, and I told him to work it out with HR and internal staff. So I am way arm's length on this one.
I appointed a special counsel to conduct that investigation, and that was in your email about 4:30 today.
Mayor, as long as we're disclosing, I've known Aaron Starkey for 20 years plus, and he came to me first on this issue, and I told him to work it out with HR and internal staff. So I am way arm's length on this one.
Yeah, well, and I will say there was an accusation made by, and I'm not going to mention a state rep's name, but today he said there is rampant anti-Semitism within the Melbourne Mayor's Paul Alfred's Fire Department. Number one, that's not my fire department. That is not my fire department. That is the City of Melbourne's fire department, and I'm proud of our fire department. We've got some good men and women. Now, it is deeply troubling for my failure to take action when this picture began circulating. I found out when you guys did, and our staff was right on it. Things are clearly out of control, he says. I don't agree with that. If you want to take a shot at me, that's fine. But I don't stand for attacks on our police and fire, making an accusation that there's rampant anti-Semitism within our fire department. So he says he's going to speak to state agencies in Tallahassee about what to do about it, but he can do that. So again, I know our staff will handle it. I know I can tell you from wearing the uniform, any situation that comes up like that, it all makes us sick. It makes all of us sick, all the good work that everybody does and the responses and you know, we go to the award ceremonies and the heroism and just to have a situation like that, it's bad enough, but just to throw that out there, an elected official to throw that out there that there is rampant anti-Semitism in our ranks is unacceptable. Again, but I don't expect nothing less. But again, you want to attack my police and fire, you know, it's on like Donkey Kong. I'll say it like that, and I'll end the meeting at 10:51.
Adios.